Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Mozu back with another lovely video today. I'm chilling in the basement headquarters, and today, I have an idea, right? Today, I want to talk a little bit about how people can overindulge in simplifying other things, right? And how overindulging in simplifying things and oversimplification can lead to evil in a way. I was discussing with my brother last night, like a bunch of ways how a lot of like things that us humans see as bad and evil in our world and stuff can easily be explained as oversimplification or have its roots in oversimplification. When people try to oversimplify things, they kind of tend to disregard the fact that life is infinitely complex, and they tend to try to find reasons behind things and think in ways and do in actions in ways that it's like they are not really seeing the big picture of everything. They're kind of just focusing on one very small detail of that entire thing, right? And I can give y'all an explanation as to, in fact, yeah, I can give y'all an example with that, right? Let's give an example of stereotyping. You know what I mean? Some people, they will look at a group of people, whether that group is defined by, their physical looks or what they believe in or just what they like. And they will look at that group of people and they will judge that entire group of people either by the actions of one person, or they will judge that group of people and talk about that group of people as if they are one entity and they're one person that believes in one thing that shares, that same belief and those same actions and everything and supports those same things. And in reality, y'all, no matter what group you are a part of, no matter who you are, no matter how you look, no matter what, your race is, your gender, your sex, your anything, your group, how you define yourself, you are always going to be infinitely complex and different and unique and valuable in your own ways. Compared to anybody else in that group, you will always be valuable and unique and yourself. And that's important to remember, because a lot of people get lost in the track of, like I said, oversimplifying things. I can give y'all another example of how oversimplification can have its roots in evil, right? Think back to, I know some of you watching and everything were born like in this generation, but for the millennials out there and Gen Xers and everything, during the 90s and 80s, probably before then even, logos for companies and like company names as a whole used to be a lot different than they are now, right? Nowadays, company logos, let's use like Apple or Microsoft as an example, right? These company logos are extremely simplified shapes that are common to recognize, easy to create, and easy to mass produce, right? While logos in like the 90s, 80s, before that, were colorful, detailed. They showed so many different meanings behind what that company stands for, or what that, like what those people kind of do. Like throughout that logo, it was shown, right? And nowadays, we got stuff like the Apple logo or the Google Chrome logo or anything like that, where it's just like 3 colors, maybe 1 color sometimes, some simplified shapes that are easy to mass produce and easy to stick in the brain. And that's kind of why those companies chose to do that, because those companies are not necessarily doing those things to be creative. They're not doing those things, they're not changing those logos to be like that, to be creative or to have a design that is like, you know what I mean, like good or that fits their company. They're kind of meaning to do that so that that logo, that design can stick in your head a lot easier, and that you can remember it more and recognize it more. And yeah, that's kind of the meaning behind that. And that can have its roots in evil, you know what I mean? That's not the biggest example of like evil or anything like that, you know what I mean? But it is, in a way, kind of manipulating that companies do things like that. And that, as you can see, definitely has its roots in oversimplification. And I kind of started to realize this whenever I was talking with my friend, right? And they brung it up too. They brung it up and they were like, you know, so many things that are evil in this world, so much evil in this world has its roots in oversimplification. And I was thinking about it, and the more that I thought about it and the more that they explained it, I was just like, wow. You know what I mean? I was just like, that is so factual. You know what I mean? That is genuinely so factual. But I could go on and on about how, you know, simplification has its roots in evil. You can go on and on about evil actions, things that we perceive as bad in this world are having its roots in evil. Or, sorry, having its roots in oversimplification, right? And that shit is factual. But y'all, I just wanted to mention that today because I thought that was interesting. I think that's interesting to ponder about. So whenever y'all are doing things for yourself, whenever you are perceiving life as a whole, remember that everything around you has a story to be told, right? Everything that you see, like everything on the walls, obviously, you know, has a story to be told. These walls used to be blank, and it started from spray paint at first, and then it moved from paint markers, and now it is how it is now, you know? And it's only gonna get more. It's only gonna get more, right? And that's the story behind the wall. But in reality, before those paint markers were touched on the wall, before the spray paint was on that wall was created using the material that it is, probably like cement or something, right? And it was created, put in place by humans when this house was created, right? And I just find that interesting because even then, even before that cement was created, blah, 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 right? That cement or whatever material was used to make these walls came from the earth and had to be derived from the earth, mixed together, created to make these walls, right? And that's interesting, I feel like. I think that's interesting to ponder about too. That literally everything that you witness with your eyes has a very complex and, most of the time, beautiful story behind it. Yo, I'm a little tired. Sorry about that. I'm just a little bit tired. I think I want to show y'all some art today. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut this part of the video off and continue it with kind of a showcase of some of the stuff I've been working on down here. And I'm going to explain some of the meanings behind everything. But I do hope that you got something out of the oversimplifying and the complexity of the world, because no matter how much we want to believe and think that there are aspects of our world that are simple, you know, concepts can be simple, you know what I mean? But within those simple constructs, you know what I mean, of those concepts, there is infinite complexities. And that's always how it's going to be, you know? We can describe life as something that's simple. We can describe love as something that's simple. But in reality, that's not fully the truth. I mean, it is partly. It's not fully the truth, though, because there's so many different circumstances that can be, you know, derived from love, or definitions or ways that love can translate into your own energies and shit. And you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much to think about. There's so much to understand about our world. And there's so many things to explore. I think a lot of people think that right now where we are, that we're kind of like living in the future. or that we are living in a state where technically you would be correct to say that we are living at the farthest extent that human technology, willpower, and determination has ever brought us before. And that is why we are here, right? But in reality, y'all, listen to Mosey real quick, because this shit is just the beginning of humanity. This is just the beginning of the world. This is just the beginning of the universe. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. There is so many things left to discover for humanity. There's so many things left for humanity to accomplish. And in reality, we're not even 50% there. We're probably not even 20% there. I like to think of this era as kind of the caveman era of technology in a way. Just as we had caveman just as we had caveman era of like tools and building and shit like that, you know what I mean? This is the caveman era of technology, and you can kind of see it with how AI is having a lot of struggles right now. How AI is almost, taking over a lot of things. A lot of people are having a lot of trouble with injustice revolving around AI, and how this is the creation of it. This is the beginning, right? Sometimes, and in fact, most of the times, beginnings are rough. Beginnings are difficult. Beginnings are sometimes the hardest and darkest parts of the journey, right? And right now, this is the beginning of our era of technology in a way, I believe, truly. And we could have thought that the beginning of this era of technology was like when TVs were made, or blah blah blah. But in reality, those were only made like 100-something years ago, something like that. You know what I mean? 100 years ago, 90 years ago, something like that. So to say that like we're in the future, like far ahead or anything, it's kind of rinky-dink. It's kind of ranky-dink. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, because in reality, like, we are genuinely at the beginning of so much that humanity has yet to accomplish. So people think that, we're here right now, and a lot of corrupt injustice and horrible things, overpopulation, is plaguing our world right now. That is, in a way, how it has to be. Until us humans can find peace, we have to find destruction first. We have to find chaos first. Because if us humans found peace before any of the destruction or chaos in this world, if we found peace and evolved way too fast, the thing is, we would find that destruction later on when we were achieving peace, right? We would find that chaos and destruction, and it probably would be the end of humanity as a whole. Right now, we actually have a chance. Right now, what we are experiencing, the corrupt energies of the world, the imbalance of our world, because in reality, you can think, and you probably should think as optimistic as you can about the world, but in reality, there is more dark than there is light in our world right now. That is a fact. And that is actually how it is meant to be. We are not meant to be in any balanced place right now, right? One day there might be a little more light than there is dark, and then we will find a balance for that too. And there always must be a balance. There can't be more light, there can't be more dark, because it will lead to corruption and destruction and chaos. That is truth. We need balance and order in the world. But in reality, y'all, don't think that humanity is over just because there's more darkness in the world than there is light. Because in reality, this is just the beginning. This is truly just the beginning, y'all. And one day this old world will crumble, and we will be able to rebuild the new world with foundations of peace and foundations that are built a lot more stable. Just like how I talk about the castle analogy, the tower analogy, Foundations must be built stable, or else your tower will eventually crumble. Right now, the people that are being born in the world right now are witnessing a tower that they never built, that they have no control over, crumbling before them because of the consequences of generations prior to them, right? We're talking about Gen X, we're talking about before that, honestly. We're talking about millennials, we're talking about all of them, right? Even part of our generation too. And that's the thing. We're gonna turn things around, right? And I'm not even talking about our generation. I'm talking about people that have a common goal in sight, that want to achieve peace through expression and complexity in this world, right? We are gonna achieve peace. I know we are. I know for a fact. No matter what happens, even if there's another war, even if a lot of destruction happens, humanity will prevail and we will accomplish so much beauty in our lifetime in this universe, and we are here for a reason. So to think that the world is over is a kind of a silly way to think, because even if the world was over, live it. Still live to your best extent that you can, because living it in itself is a gift that's hard to comprehend sometimes. But like I've said in other videos, if you are finding it hard to live right now because of circumstances that are out of your control, let's say that the country you live in right now is going under a lot of things that are completely out of your control. They are chaotic and affecting your life every single day. I do not expect you to have an optimistic outlook on life and to appreciate every single moment of this life, because in a situation like that, in lots of situations when you're experiencing trauma, like as time is happening, in the present moment, you are literally experiencing trauma and shit that is out of your control. It's kind of impossible to appreciate, right? And you shouldn't try to ever force appreciation. Appreciation should come natural to you, right? And I think that's important to remember, y'all. I got this blue marker right here. I'm gonna put this on the wall when I record the other part of this video, and hell yeah. So I'm gonna record that part of the video, but first I'm gonna show y'all my outfit, right? I'm gonna show y'all the outfit. So let's show y'all the outfits, all right? I got like more of like a thinner shirt on right now, right? And then I got the big baggy pants. And the big baggy pants, right? Let me do a spin. Whee! My hair spins too. All right, these big baggy pants though, parachute pants is what they're called. They are my favorite. And the thing is, when I make my comic series, The Corridors of Reverb, my main character, Charlie, he's gonna be wearing parachute pants a lot, right? And a black cloak, right? And a red cloak. He likes wearing red cloak, black cloak. Yeah, that's what he's gonna be doing, right? So yeah, hell yeah. All right, yo, I'm gonna show y'all the next part of this video. So I'll see you shortly. All right, y'all, Moses back. I hope y'all bugs enjoyed that part of the video. I truly do, because I think that I was spitting some facts, I'm not gonna lie. And a lot of people get lost in the corruption and destruction of this world, and they tend to realize and think that there's not much hope for humanity. In reality, there's always gonna be hope, y'all. There always will be hope. And that's why the gold shoots up, creates a flower through the you, because you are golden and you create seeds. You plant seeds that are going to be blossoming soon, right? You plant seeds and they will blossom, all right? Flowers will always bloom, no matter how much winter destroys. Spring will prevail. So remember that, y'all. Anyways, I wanted to show y'all something. Let's go to the spirit room real quick, because that's the spirit room right there, right? Let's go to the spirit room. That's the big Mozu right there. That's the big Mozu. Oh, yeah, this is going to be funny, actually, real quick. This is Walter White right here, bruh. Look at Walter White, bruh. He's a little ranky-dank. He got his head sticking out. He's like Minecraft Walter White. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck going on over here? Trying to sell me meth or something, bro. What the fuck? All right, anyways, over here, we got the spirit face. Holy shit. I know, a lot of things have been added since the last time I showed y'all, I believe. If y'all know the kids game where it goes like line, number 9, creepy crawlers up your spine, ... electric shock, I put that shit right here. I thought that was factual, because my brother, he actually went by a tag name at one point called Line, and that's why there's yellow like that right there, right? And hell yeah. So I just finished it. I put line, number 9. You know what I mean? And the rest is truthful. But anyway, yes, this is the spirit face, y'all. This is how it's turning out. It's really turning out nice. I personally really like this part right here. The 3 figures that are praising the planet and holding up certain letters. The red one holds up a B, the purple one holds up an E, so it spells B, and then the yellow one holds up a Y, which creates the word buy when you put them all together, which is interesting. Oh shit, I almost fell. But over here, yo, yeah, it's really turning out well. I think it's turning out well. We got the sun right here, and this eyeball staring down right at the sun, but it's also, you notice that it's staring down at these figures. It's keeping an eye on them to make sure that they don't harness the planet and use it for evil purposes, right? And then over here, we got the bee, and he's just chilling. He's peeking out. He's got the yellow. Best believe it. And up here, I'm gonna finish this later. It's a portal, and it's quite lovely. It's definitely not done, but I really like how that looks so far, I'm not gonna lie. And then there's the man with the katana, and he's slaying the other dude, and he like literally decapitated him, and that dude's falling, and it says fall right there, and then it says stop, like stop it right now, stop that shit. All right, and this is sticking out the wall, right? This shit's sticking out the wall. This is literally like this face, like this clay face right here, I made when I was like 12 or 13, I think, right? And I painted over it recently, and I attached it to a screwdriver that my brother stuck in the wall. My brother stuck it in the wall, and I put this little necklace thing on it too. And so now it's just sticking out the wall. This is gonna be excavated like out, like one day, like when I'm like older and stuff, maybe even when I pass away, this is going to be excavated out of the wall. Like it's going to be taken out of the drywall, and it's going to be shown in museums, right? And I just find that interesting when it's done and everything. It can't really remain down here. You know, it can't remain like unseen to the rest of the world. The world has to know about everything down here. You know, that's the reason that I created it down here. Like I knew ever since that I started really going crazy on the walls down here and putting my heart and soul on these walls, that it was really important that mankind eventually excavated these walls out and put them in museums and shit, because they tell a lot of stories, and they tell a lot of, you know, life in this century of life, right? People in the very, very far future will look at this art, and they will be very perplexed by it, because it shows art and a life through a generation and world that they never had the experience to live in. And I think it tells the story quite accurately. Anyways, I'm gonna explain over here, and that will be my last part of today. Alrighty, y'all, we got the motherfucking apartment building coming up right there, and that's reoccurring, right? That's reoccurring, because down here I added something new yesterday. That is my character, Yoma. He's going to be the main antagonist of my comic series, The Corridors of Reverb. He is falling down because in this moment, he was at the top of this apartment building, and he was already planning on jumping off of it and shooting all of the windows, right? Well, what happened was he was preparing to do that, and then the spirit that haunts him and guides him and gives him power actually pushed him off of the apartment a little early, and it caused him to shoot more people in the apartment and everything, because that is what the spirit was aware of that, and that's why he pushed Yoma. He didn't really give a shit, right? But Yoma is going to fall, and he's not going to hit the ground, because the spirit is going to open up a portal right before he would hit the ground into the Velusi's realm, which is my rendition of hell, right? And that's kind of what Yoma rules. He rules the hell dimension, being Velusi's. And y'all will look back on these older videos and everything, and y'all will see this foreshadowing stuff for The Corridors of Reverb, and you'll be like, oh, I remember that scene. You know what I mean? And y'all will be like, that's crazy. But over here, that's Charlie, right? He's hanging, he's crying, he's got his hand over his face, and he's crying out the cloak, and he's reaching his hand down and playing a key of the piano. And it says, see you later, right? This is my own blood right here. This is real blood from me right there. And that is because I have a lot of acne that I used to be quite insecure about, but I'm not really that insecure about it anymore. I'm kind of chilling. But I was picking at it one day and it started bleeding pretty bad, and I just put the blood on the wall. And so that part is really powerful, right? And I wanted to explain that to you. But anyways, over here, let's look at this dude. Let's look at this Virgosian creature right here. Let's look at this creature. There's so much writing and everything, and I could go on and on about explaining it, but a lot of the writing is very personal to me, and I feel like it's best left up to interpretation. So if you read any words, then interpret it in your own way. But the main idea behind it is this big, large, dark spirit, right, is harnessing the life energy out of a planet that is contained within a glass box that he has broke with his tongue. And he is harnessing the planet, the energy from it, right? That is basically the whole idea behind it. That's literally the whole thing. And there is a face next to that creature that holds spirits within it, and that closes one of its eyes and looks up at some of the old things that were put on this wall. And in particular, actually, I'll read this. It reflects in the eye because it's looking at something in particular. It's looking at where it says right here, where my mom put this quote or whatever. It says, "Beware of the heartless and soulless pretender." And it reflects that, right? And in reality, that quote doesn't really make that much sense to me, because you can't really be heartless or soulless while still being a human. So, yeah, I don't really get that. Honestly, the more you think about that quote, it doesn't really make much sense. But I just thought it was interesting to have that like reflect in the eye though still. And then I've showed y'all the starving spirit right there, and the lustful spirit right there, the greedy spirits, and the courageous spirit, or it's a false facade of courage, you could say. And yeah, so all these walls looking good, y'all. I hope y'all like this video, I really do. And I think that I'm gonna end it off around right here. So I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna find something to use as a thumbnail for this video, and hell yeah. And I hope that y'all are having an absolutely wonderful day. All y'all bugs, I hope y'all living a lovely bug's life. And I appreciate y'all, and thank you for making it to this point of the video. If you did, you are a real one, I'm not gonna lie. This video is probably gonna blow up, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like it is one day. Even if it's not recent or soon, it will one day. And hell yeah, and I know my channel is gonna get somewhere huge one day as well. So that's how it is, y'all. I already know. You gotta have belief in yourself, y'all. But anyways, I'm continuing the content, and it's only gonna get better, y'all. So look forward to it. I appreciate y'all, and leave a comment if you like this video. And leave a like if you feel like it too. I appreciate y'all. Peacington.